Hey guys, happy Monday the 11th. It's look a little disheveled. I just out shoveling a pile of snow. Actually, kind of a funny story about that I'd like to share with you. But anyway, let me apologize. It's the first video I've done in several days, and let me explain a little bit about that if I can. Last week I was away on business. I left Monday, came back Thursday. Kept me a little bit busy, and driving home Thursday, I got this incredible toothache with an abscessed tooth, and that kind of kept me out of commission. And then that triggered some kind of migraine that I get pretty severely, but this one was worse than I've had in many, many years, so that kind of crippled me for a couple of days as well. So there's, not that I didn't want to, share some thoughts with you and some observations, but wanted to just tell you why there was no video. It's not like I'm becoming disengaged. But a couple things. One is a really cool observation I think I want to share with you guys that I'll post to my website later on my Facebook page. And then one was kind of this morning. So here in central PA, we had some light snow start last night that is went through the night and is forecasted through the day with a bigger storm coming tonight. So it's just great being a dad sometimes with kids and how they idolize their dad and what they believe. Maybe it's unfair for me to play on their naivete. Look at that word, naivete. Pulled that one out of the SAT vocabulary section, I guess. Maybe not. Anyway, so woke up this morning. The kids had a 2-hour delay, which really made no sense to me for a couple of reasons. One is the school districts nowadays can have you do work from home via technology on their tablets. And two, the forecast was snow through the day. So it just didn't seem to make a lot of sense to me, but it was what it was. So the kids woke up, of course, wanting the day off. And a little bummed out that it was a 2-hour delay. My son was up. Dad, you heard anything? So then Dad got a little bit to use his ingenuity. So I told the kids, that I would consult their school district's bylaws. And I found a statute, which I came to find out said that a parent, if there's a weather system directly above a small concentrated area, they had the right to kind of cancel school for the day. But I couldn't say for sure. I had to kind of keep an eye outside for the weather forecast. So, of course, that triggered their minds, and they believe this, by the way, completely. Maybe it's embarrassing. My children are that gullible. But anyway, so as they kept asking me, I said, guys, I got to get the dishes done. It's hard to keep my eyes on the forecast and the dishes at the same time. So if you and your sister can find a way to get the dishes done together peacefully without poking and throwing soap in each other's eyes, then maybe I would focus on this weather system up above. So sure enough, my son outslicked me and said, "No problem, Dad," and jumped up and proceeded to put all the dishes in the dishwasher, little bugger. And I then had to continue the ruse, and I consulted. Most of you have heard of Punxsutawney Phil. Here in Pennsylvania. Well, we live there. The mom lives, and I live next to a town called Emmetsville. So I consulted Emmetsville Ernie, and he's the big crow that sits up in the treetop. And so while they were holding up their end of the bargain, which I was going to lead into something else why I'm saying that, I got a hold of Emmetsville Ernie, and he looked, right, and he looked left. Said, "Jim, nothing but snow." So I felt I had to utilize and pull out of my hat the specific statute that says I can, as a parent with a low-hanging forecast or weather front, call school off. So I did that, and so my kids were ecstatic. So the school district knows I called them in sick. But here's what gets even better. Literally within 3 minutes of me doing that, the school district sends out the automated message that they now close school for the day. So now, of course, I took credit to my son that once they heard that I enforced the statute, that the school district caught wind of that and closed the school down for everybody. Because I can just see him going to school tomorrow, bragging on his dad that the whole school got closed because of his dad. But I'll let him play. The other kids will call him an idiot and make fun of him, and I'll sit back and chuckle, which doesn't make me father of the year. No, I'm kidding. But it is kind of fun to give the kids a day. It wasn't anything because the whole school district is closed now, but I thought I'd have some fun with that. So hope you got a kick out of hearing it. I don't know if you probably did, as much as I did, having fun with the kids. But those are one of the memories that you'll always have. I remember it brought back a memory with me and my friend Steven, where his mom, he and I would kind of find a way to plan to be at the nurse's office at the same time because Mom didn't drive. She got a ride. She'd pick us up. We played Nerf basketball in his room all day. Sick, of course. Anyway, but I mentioned something in that little story that I thought was really neat and tied into something. I love learning, not book learning, although it's enjoyable. I love seeing things in a different way than I ever had. I like catchphrases, acronyms. I think they stick with you. And so, as most of you that follow me know, throughout my journey, I kind of got a little bit more spiritual and gave religion a shot more than I ever had before, and I've been trying to devoutly keep my mind open and my heart open, and I'm exposing my family to it. And my daughter, a little bit cynical, she can hear 9 things that make sense to her, but 1 or 2 she doesn't understand, and she lets that kind of get in the way, which I shouldn't say is a bad thing. I mean, I want her to learn at her pace, but it dawned on me this week that there were a few people I met along my journey that were pastors that really I enjoyed their service. They reached me, and I figured if they could reach me, they could reach her. One of those was Pastor John Tidwell out of Trinity Baptist Church, I believe it is, in Bristol, Oklahoma. I reached out to the pastor and said, hey, do you happen to live stream your services? He says, we do. So I'm going to post that later on. We tried to live stream it yesterday. I don't know if we were running early or the time difference, whatever, but they also archived the last several services. And instead of waiting for the present day one, the message would get across from any of the above. So we watched a service from the previous week, from I guess it'd be February 3rd maybe. And in there, the pastor touched on something which I had never thought of before. I had never really thought about in this way, but it was so simple, it hit home with me. And he was talking about the covenant with God, but how we live in a contract world. If you provide this service, I will give you this. If you do this, then I'll do that. And not just in a business relationship, but in a personal relationship, marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be, girlfriend, even parenting. So much of what we do is contractual, even with children. If you clean your room every day, I will get you that toy you want. In a relationship, if you do this, this, and this, if you stay true and monogamous and honest and loyal and truthful, whatever, then I will do the same. But sometimes the minute somebody breaks something, we run out, or we use it as, well, you broke your end, so I'm not held accountable anymore. And I never thought about how badly it is, maybe not badly, it's not the right term, but how deeply it really is ingrained in us that we live in a contract world. And like I said, it's one thing to understand work. I give I work X amount of hours, I get paid X amount of dollars. I do, this, then I get that, even in the personal relationship. And essentially the way I took it wasn't so much in the covenant portion of it, which is what I certainly understand what the pastor's message was, but it really opened my eyes to, why does it always have to be, I shouldn't say always, there's a lot of people that do without looking for, a payback or a payoff. But so many times, if you look at yourself in your own life, how many times do we do, contractually, that if I do this, then I'm going to get this in return, or I'm going to get something tangible. Give me a hug and I'll get you an ice cream. Give me a kiss and I'll, guys, and I'll, whatever, and you can stay up later. And I'm not saying that any of us do that frequently, but it's what life is about. Remember, how often in life, that's what it is. Very, very infrequently, or very few times, do people truly do or give. Those are the beautiful acts, I think. And it's not necessarily the pastor's message, but his was illustrating how God, despite our sins, didn't walk away and say, well, you didn't uphold your end of the bargain. He said, repent, and I'm still going to uphold my end of the bargain. And it really hit home with me, and how I want to keep that in my mind every day. How I deal with people at work, the people I manage, the people that look up to me to make things right for them. How I want to take that into my home. My relationship with my children is the greatest thing in the world. And, I'd like to think that I've been very giving of myself and my heart and my soul to them. But yet there still are times where, I utilize that kind of thing. As I said, do the dishes and I'll check out the weather forecast. Um, and I kind of feel a little bit selfish that I see myself as one of the people that I'm sort of asking to open your eyes about how so many things in life are, if you uphold your end, if you do this, if you give that, if you, cook that, if you show up and attend that, then this, and it shouldn't have to be that way. And I know I'm kind of dragging on a little bit, but I hope you're getting the message. I've kind of beat it down a little bit, but again, this is kind of an eye-opener for me. So I appreciate Pastor Tidwell. You can stream him. I'll put it on my Facebook page. But I thought it was a really fascinating, quick mantra, to add to my list of mantras I like to live by. But we live in a contract world. A lot of us only do if somebody else does something, first, or for us, or at the same time. How many times will the kids go, well, I'll jump if you jump, okay, at the same time. You first. No. So that was an eye-opener for me, and I really, really enjoyed that. Plus, more importantly, the family sat around and we attended church together in our living room. But my daughter really identified with Pastor Tidwell, as I hope she would, and is eager to continue that. So. And then lastly, there was one story that just blew me away that didn't get, maybe it did, I was getting busy at a business seminar, but it didn't get enough attention or as much as it should have. But if I understood this correctly, a guy, maybe in Colorado, was hiking, I shouldn't say guy, I don't know if it was a guy or a woman, but was attacked by a mountain lion, and I heard killed the mountain lion, but then when I read the story, didn't kill it with a gun, didn't kill it with a knife, choked it out, man. Can you imagine that? It just blows me away. So here's somebody that choked out a mountain lion, for crying out loud. And when I was on my journey, I know there were many nights out west where I'd hear a noise and I would get concerned, whether it was a slithering rattler or whether it was a bobcat. I did see a mountain lion out there. What the heck would I do in a situation? Well, this person just reacted and choked the damn thing out. So. Wow, what a story. So anyway, guys, it's Monday. We have a snow day here in PA. Going to be snowing tomorrow. Really jacks up my business. But stay safe. And to my friends out in Phoenix, to Susan and to Bob and Sue and to Brian. Brian came from Philly, though, so he knows. And Bob came from Michigan, so he knows. But you guys never get the joy of playing tricks on your kids and saying there's a snow day, because you guys just have beautiful, warm, balmy weather out there. So see what you're missing out back up here in the Northeast. So guys, enjoy your week. A few shout outs. There are a few people I spoke to this weekend that I met in the journey. We're better places than they are now. So pray for all of us. I'm keeping my fingers crossed and doing what I can to help them. Congratulations and a shout out to my friend Earl. I've been writing a book like mad the last few days. Covered Earl's story, and I reached out to him, and he told me he's engaged now to a beautiful young lady with 2 kids of her own.